Yo, still bills, what's the deal, man? I just dropped my baby off at daycare, heading to the plantation to start this work week off, man. But peep game, man, I want to talk about this Ukrainian war, not as in depth like on from a political point of view, but as it pertains to fighters going over there and deciding to pick up arms in defense of their motherland. I've seen a lot of people denigrate Vasily Lomachenko because he was ducked off over in Greece. I'm not sure if he was there before the war kicked off or if he skated out of country after the invasion or what. But I do know he was over there in Greece, man, and I'm seeing a lot of motherfuckers with some slick shit to say, man, and I'm seeing a lot of it coming from people who are, a little bit aggravated that Devin Haney didn't get the fight. But I'm also seeing it from people who was just, these quote unquote bleeding heart patriots, man. It was the same shit. Now, granted, the situations are a bit different as it pertains to Ali and Vasily Lomachenko, but a lot of the dudes who was denigrating Muhammad Ali when he got drafted, them is the type of those was reporters and motherfuckers who was in school and all that shit, and they wasn't soldiers. You dig? If you felt that strongly about the shit, you would have went over there and picked up arms. You would have took your ass over to Vietnam if you opposed him so much and willingly offered your services to protect this country. But you motherfuckers ain't do that. It's easy to sit behind a computer and talk that shit. He a coward, he this and that and the third. These dudes are boxers. You dig? They have a career. They're warriors. But they represent their country through combat. Physical combat, not the shooting shit. Not everybody is a gunner. Everybody ain't no shooter. Half of these niggas online talking about, oh man, he a coward, he this and that and the third. You ain't never even seen no shootout before, seen somebody get shot. That shit is wild. That shit is wild. I've seen a few shootouts and I've seen a homie shot. That shit is like, yo. Someone get their noodles spread out all over the concrete, man. That shit is a traumatic experience, man. Do you know what motherfuckers go through psychologically after war? My sister dated a dude who was he used to clean the jets for the for the Navy. He saw combat one time. He trained for it. He went when it was time for him to get in the field. He just could not adapt. It's not the same. War between countries is not the same between war between rival hoods. That man was over there, and shit went down, and the dude he was riding with got his noodles blown out right in front of him. He dropped his gun and retreated. And his general told him, get your ass back out there and pick your weapon up, soldier. He said, I'm not going back out there. And his general went out there to pick his weapon up, and he got his shit split. And my sister would tell me he would wake up in the middle of the night and jump under the bed and be paranoid up under the bed. You know what type of psychological effect war takes on you? And you talking about he's a coward because he ain't going to go. Like, yo, you dudes is a trip, man. I'm like this, man. If America got invaded, and my wife and my family they're out of the country, you bugging the fuck out if you think I'm gonna stay here and pick up arms on behalf of America. You out your mind. Look at the history, man. We fought in every war. World War I, World War II. There was a point in time we couldn't even fight in a war that was for our liberation until they had no other choice but to put us in there. The thought of a black man killing a white soldier was that just unsettling to them that they was about ready to lose the war, because they just didn't the thought and the sight of armed masculine black men picking up arms and fighting back against a system, that shit was just really it was unsettling to them and unnerving. So they said no until they had no other choice. We fighting that war just to face a whole nother 100 years of Jim Crow and convict leasing and all that wild shit. World War I, World War II, we come back. We can't even dine in the same mess hall as our soldiers, but the ops over there, the German soldiers, German Nazis can dine in the mess hall with, prisoners of war can dine in the mess hall with white soldiers, but we can't even go in there unless we cleaning the dishes or we cooking or some shit like that. Think about how denigrating that is, man. Vietnam, in the 60s, heroin is all throughout the ghettos of North America. Motherfucking niggas is living in the projects and all type of wild shit. It's just it's a saddened state for Black America. Every time we fight in a war, we come back just to some bullshit. We can go and get all types of medals of honor over there and come back home and get gunned down by the police for not putting your signal on in the turning lane. If America got invaded, I'm not picking up arms and defending America. Ain't no way in hell. I wouldn't do that. And half of you niggas clapping at Vasily Lomachenko, y'all sure as hell ain't enlisted when we got invaded, when Iraq had to wear that shit, when Iraq and Afghanistan had to wear that terrorist label. And there was a terrorist attack, 9/11. You motherfuckers ain't enlisted to go over there and fight and right that wrong for all them thousands of people in Manhattan who got killed. I ain't do that. Y'all didn't do that because you understand what war is. Having to look down the block or whatever, or watch the block for niggas coming up the block looking to bust. It's a far difference between that and actually seeing tanks and fighter jets and rocket launchers and shit like that rolling. Like, my wife was just telling me it was a dude over the Russians was just driving a tank through through Ukrainian soil, and it was a Ukrainian man just driving in his car, and this tank intentionally rolled over that man's car with a tank. It's miraculous that dude even survived. But just think about the shit that these people are experiencing over there. Lomachenko has goals that he wants to, achieve as a boxer. He's never been a soldier in the military. He's never been, to my knowledge. I don't even think Usyk was that. I don't even think the Klitschko's were that. You dig? And what's crazy is none of you niggas said anything about Victor Postol when he was ready to lock horns with Gary Antoine Russell. None of y'all said anything about y'all, but y'all had no issues clapping at Vasily Lomachenko because he was next up to get that Kambosos fight when Devin Haney's dad fucked up the negotiations. You dudes are eyeballs, bro. Like, bro, that's wild to me. How you can see, it's easy to say, oh man, he a sucker, he this and that and the third. How come you ain't defending your homeland? And half you niggas ain't even shot a gun before, bro. Let alone shot a gun at somebody or had a gun shot at you. I've never been in a shootout. I've never been bust at. Never that. Because I stayed out the way. And I have no issues with saying that. I've seen shootouts though. I've seen them. Being in that environment is a scary thing, man. Being in that element is scary. You don't know where them shots is coming from. When there's multiple shooters, you just don't know. Niggas is twisted, man. Motherfuckers will say, yo, man, no witnesses, and they'll just aim at whoever watching what's going down. And you gonna demonize a nigga because he don't want to go over and fight in a war where it's just real ridiculous to me how this shit is going on, man. This, like I said, this ain't about caping, but it's just about calling people out on their bullshit, man. I'm not caping for the Ukraine. I'm not. But I understand somebody not wanting to pick up arms, man, when they are They have goals they want to achieve within their own respective profession. They have goals they want to achieve. I want to be undisputed. I want to win another world title. Usyk wants to be undisputed in two divisions. You dig? So I'm like, yo, you dudes is a trip, man. Like that shit really ain't cool. It really ain't cool. Not every, it's a lot of people who are saying that who actually did enlist when 9/11 jumped off. But it's a lot of people who was just, comfortable popping that bullshit behind a computer screen, a password and a fucking username, and that's what bothers me. Everybody ain't built for war, man. Everybody ain't built for war. And as I've so eloquently put in, I'm unapologetic on this stance. If America got invaded, I'm not picking up arms in defense of America. If my wife, my kids, my family, my loved ones is out of the way, I'm deuces with them. I'm deuces with them. Unless America said, if you fought in this war, we would give you what is owed to you through the hardship of your ancestors. All right, cool. Now we can pick up them guns and go to work. Because now, even if I get clipped in war, I leave something for my children. That would be the only way you would get me to pick up arms on behalf of this country if we were ever to get invaded. Because America is weakening. They're not in a weakened state, but just everybody has a short. Everybody's reign on top comes to an end. You out your mind if you don't think it's other motherfuckers eyeing America with all the, we got military bases all across the globe. If we wanted to invade that country, we was funking with them niggas. We got 2,000 and 3,000 boots on the ground ready to go to work to hold us down until reinforcement gets there. Ain't no other nation, no other sovereign nation has that shit on American soil. Nobody. We got military bases in Japan and Korea and even in enemy territory, man. All types of countries over there in the Middle East, and they hate us. Well, they hate them. I'm a black man in America. They understand our plight over here. We ain't got no control over here. So I mean, ask yourself that. America's the land of opportunity. Yeah, it is, but it's a reason for that. All the resources we done saturated from all these other foreign nations to put us in the power position that we in now. You don't think them other nations is looking at us like, oh man, we just waiting for y'all to fuck up. Because we coming to right 200 plus years of wrongdoing on y'all behalf. And ask yourself, if that time was now, would you be willing to pick up arms to defend this country? If all your loved ones got out of the way. I'm not mad at Vasily Lomachenko for being ducked off over in Greece. I'm not mad at that. I'm dead ass not mad at that. That shit does not bother me. I do not blame him. I do not blame him. Because everybody is not built for war. We already put here to die as is, and you want to rush in the process at 33 years old, 30 years old? That is young. That is young. I'm 35. I'm young. You gonna hold that against somebody because they don't want to go to war? Dudes is a trip, man, and it's really not cool. It's really not cool. Y'all need to check yourselves on that, man, because it comes to a point where the shit ain't about boxing no more, man. This is life and death. This is life and death. A lot of you dudes y'all was so hell-bent on Vasily Lomachenko going and picking up arms in the Ukraine, so that interjects Devin Haney back into the undisputed title match sweepstakes. That's the only reason why y'all only. That's all the fraudulent cries of concern for the Ukrainians is bullshit. It is bullshit, especially as it pertains to Lomachenko. Y'all said nothing about Usyk. Y'all said nothing about Victor Postol. Y'all main focus was Vasily Lomachenko, and it was only because he was fighting George Kambosos in June. And Devin Haney dropped his pops fumbled the bag. You dig? Don't talk to me about, don't talk that patriotism shit to me. Talk that patriotism shit. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it, man. This is when it becomes this is when it becomes problematic. When y'all push these bullshit narratives, that's when it becomes problematic. I have no issues with it. I do think you niggas get OD when it comes to, you know, conflating politics on a social level and on a political level with boxing. But I understand the direction you catch is trying to go in. I'm not mad at it. It can get a little annoying. It can get very annoying, but I understand it. The love for your people, I'm not mad at it. But it gets to a point where it's just completely too sinister for somebody to sympathize with, man. Because the same niggas who's banging on Lomachenko for not picking up arms wouldn't have dared said that shit about Victor Postol, because he was giving Gary Russell Jr. or Gary Antoine Russell a step-up fight. I want to talk about that too, but we'll discuss that later. This shit is whack, man. Like, y'all niggas need to real life give it a rest. It's corny. You know, motherfuckers ain't even been in fights no more. Ain't even been in a fight. Don't know what it's like to take a shot on the chin, bro. Like, and y'all really just talking slick. I'm not no fighter ass nigga like that. I'm not. I've been in the last fight I've been in was in high school. I'm 35. I got jumped. We was in a gang fight. I got busy though. And I'm much nicer than what I was back then. So I'm not worried about how I would fare in a street fight. Win or lose, I'ma handle mine. But a lot of you people just get real complacent behind a fucking password and a username to say the dumb shit that you saying. Everybody is not built for war. That's just the bottom line. Everybody is not built to go over there and pick up arms. Just because you're a fighter in the ring, that does not make you you can't slip no motherfucking bullet from a Draco. You dig? You can't roll up under no IED. You can't do none of that. So at the end of the day, man, you dudes just, just shut the fuck up. That's what I would say. Just shut the fuck up. Like I said, this ain't about caping and none of that bullshit. This is simply about understanding what you up against, man, and understanding the magnitude of the situation, man. Motherfuckers is going in there with the intent. They've already made. Imagine that they're in their mind, I'm going to die. That's their mindset at a young age. Even the Klitschko's is considered young. Them dudes in their 40s. And you're going to be mad at somebody who's not willing to face that grim reality of death by the hands of another man to defend it. You dudes is a trip, man.